Hello my dear students. Today we are learning about electromotive force, terminal voltage and voltage drop. A cell consists of two conductors separated by a solution called electrolyte. These conductors are called electrodes and they maintain a constant potential difference as a result of chemical reactions in the electrolyte and provide a continuous flow of electrons. Thus, cell works as a source of electricity. The potential difference across the electrodes is called electromotive force or EMF. Thus, EMF is the potential difference between the terminals of a cell when no current passes or the cell is in open circuit. Let us go more deep into it. Every cell is capable of creating a potential difference when it is made. It can be obtained by connecting a voltmeter across its terminals. So EMF is the potential difference and it is defined as the work done in bringing a unit positive charge throughout the circuit. That means in the circuit outside the cell as well as in the electrolytes inside the cell. The symbol of EMF is E or epsilon and its unit is same as the unit of potential difference, which is volt. Since EMF is a type of potential difference, we can use the equation for potential difference for EMF also. Therefore, EMF is equal to total work by total charge. EMF is the characteristic property of a cell and the EMF is created when the cell is made. So the factors affecting EMF are the material of the electrode and the electrolytes used in the cell, and the EMF is independent of the shape of the electrodes, the distance between the electrodes and the amount of electrolyte in the cell. Now, when the cell is connected to a load, the potential difference across the terminals will be less than that of EMF and it is called terminal voltage. So, terminal voltage can be defined as the potential difference between the electrodes of a cell when current is drawn from the cell or when the cell is in closed circuit. So, terminal voltage is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge between the terminals of a cell or through the circuit outside the cell. The symbol for terminal voltage is capital V. From this, it is clear that the terminal voltage of a cell is always less than EMF. So the difference between EMF and the terminal voltage is termed as voltage drop. Hence, voltage drop is the difference between EMF and the terminal voltage. This difference happens because when heavy current is drawn from the cell, a large number of current carriers flow through the electrolyte and hence more work is done to move the charge through the electrolyte. So, voltage drop is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge through the electrolyte. Therefore, EMF is equal to terminal voltage plus voltage drop, where terminal voltage is the potential difference across the terminals outside the battery and voltage drop is the potential difference inside the electrolyte. Now, let's see the difference between EMF and terminal voltage of a cell. The first difference is EMF is measured by the amount of work done per unit change in moving a positive charge in complete circuit inside and outside the cell. but the terminal voltage is measured by the amount of work done per unit charge in moving a positive charge in the circuit only outside the cell. The second point is the EMF is the characteristic property of the cell, but the terminal voltage depends on the amount of current drawn from the cell. More current drawn from the cell, less is the terminal voltage. EMF is equal to the terminal voltage when cell is not in use, while greater than the terminal voltage when it is in use, and the terminal voltage is equal to EMF when the cell is not in use, while it is less than the EMF when cell is in use. So, to maintain a constant potential difference, the electrons has to flow from anode to cathode in the external circuit and from cathode to anode inside the cell through the electrolyte. While these electrons flow, electrolyte offers some resistance against the flow of electrons. The resistance offered by the electrolyte inside the cell to the flow of current is called internal resistance of the cell. It is due to the internal resistance the voltage drops on flowing the current. Therefore, voltage drop is equal to current into internal resistance, or V is equal to I into R, where the small r represents internal resistance. The cell with an internal resistance is represented as below. Now let us see the relation between EMF terminal voltage and internal resistance. Let a cell of EMF E and the internal resistance small r is used to send a current in the external resistance capital R connected across the terminals of a cell. Now the total resistance is the resistance of the external load and the internal resistance of the battery. So total resistance is R plus R. When current is drawn from the cell, the current I is equal to V by R, where V is the voltage. For a cell, the voltage is called EMF. So it is EMF by total resistance, or E by R plus R. Hence, EMF of a cell is equal to current into total resistance, or we can write it as current into external resistance plus current into internal resistance. But we all know that the current into external resistance is called terminal voltage. Current into external resistance is a voltage, and it is the voltage across the terminals of the cell. Now, current into internal resistance is called voltage drop. So we can write EMF is equal to terminal voltage plus voltage drop, or voltage drop is equal to EMF minus terminal voltage. Voltage drop is current into internal resistance, so that we can write it as internal resistance is equal to EMF minus voltage drop by current. The internal resistance of a cell depends on the following four factors. The first one is surface area of electrodes. Larger the surface area of electrodes, less is the internal resistance. We can compare it to the factors affecting resistance. In the case of resistance, larger the thickness, lesser is the resistance. Here, larger the surface area of electrodes, lesser is the internal resistance. The second factor is distance between the electrodes. More distance between the electrodes, greater is the internal resistance. In normal resistance, as the length of the wire increases, the resistance increases. Here, as the distance between the electrodes increases, internal resistance increases. The third factor is nature or concentration of electrolyte. Less ionic electrolytes or higher concentration of electrolyte, greater is the internal resistance. It is like the resistance depends on the nature of the wire. The fourth factor is temperature of the electrolyte. Higher temperature of electrolyte, less is the internal resistance. Now we can see what changes will happen if we combine two resistors. In order to have a desired resistance in a circuit, sometimes we need to connect two or more resistors together. They can be combined in two ways. The first one is in series or the second one is in parallel. First of all, let us look the combination of resistors in series. Here, three resistors are connected in series. From this diagram, we can identify some facts. The current has a single path for its flow. The ends of the resistors are joined one after another. So, the current has a single way for its flow. Hence, same current passes through each resistors. So, the potential difference across any resistor is directly proportional to the resistance. Thus, potential difference is different for different resistors. As the potential difference is work done, if more resistance is there, then it has to do more work to pass the current. Now the potential difference across the entire circuit is equal to the sum of the potential differences across the individual resistors. That means the potential difference across the total circuit is equal to the sum of the potential differences of the individual resistors. Now, if I is the current drawn from the battery, the current through each resistors will be I. Since the current has a single path, current through each resistors will be I. Hence, according to Ohm's law, the potential difference across the first resistor will be I into R1 and the second resistor will be I into R2 and that of the third resistor will be I into R3. Hence, the total potential difference V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 is equal to I into R1 plus I into R2 plus I into R3. As we all know, potential difference is equal to current into total resistance. So we can write IR is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. On cancelling, we will get R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Or in series connection, the total resistance is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now, the combination of resistors are in parallel. In parallel connection, one end of each resistor is connected at one point and the other end of each resistor is connected at the other point. The battery along with a key is connected between these 2 points. When the key is closed, the current I is drawn from the battery, but it divides into 3 because the electron has 3 ways to pass. So, current in the conductor divides into 3 and flows. More current will pass through less resistances. But since the potential difference is the work done in bringing a unit charge from one point to another, it is same for the 3 different paths because we have to move these electrons from one terminal to the other terminal of the battery, or we have to move these electrons from negative terminal to positive terminal of the battery. So the work done is same. Hence, potential difference across each resistor is same, which is equal to the potential difference across the terminals of the battery. And the current in the resistor is inversely proportional to its resistance. The sum of the currents in the separate branches of the parallel circuit is equal to the total current. That means current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now the current in the resistor 1 is I1, which is equal to V by R1. Since voltage across each resistor is same, we can take it as V, so it is V by R1. Similarly, current through the resistor R2 is I2, which is equal to V by R2, and that of R3 is I3, which is V by R3. Hence, the total current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. That is V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. Since the potential difference is same for each resistors and which is equal to the potential difference across the battery, we can cancel the left side and right side. So we will get 1 by Rp. Rp means parallel connection. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Thus, in the parallel combination, the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. So, we can conclude in a series combination, the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of the individual resistances, and in parallel connection, the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. Hope you all understood all the terms related to battery. Thank you and have a nice day.